boss suddenly calls out from behind, "Stop right there." The chubby young woman asks nervously, "What happened?" The boss replies sternly, "You two, husband and wife, have submitted your resignations." The woman asks in confusion, "Resignations?" The boss says seriously, "Do you even realize what you've done? Do you really think you can just walk away like this?" The woman asks cautiously, "Well, what exactly did we do?" The boss replies firmly, "You may not have done anything, but what about your husband? What has he been doing all this time? I'm going to ask both of you 2 questions. If you answer them correctly, you can stay here. If you can't, not only will you have to leave, but you'll also be responsible for compensating the company for its losses." The boss says coldly, "It seems like you won't admit anything unless the evidence is placed right in front of you. Take him to my office." The security guard responds respectfully, "Yes, boss." He places his hand on the young man's shoulder and says firmly, "Let's go. Come on." When they reach the office, the boss then tells the security guard, "You may leave afterward, and bring the manager and her cousin as well." The security guard replies obediently, "Okay, boss." The disabled man asks anxiously, "What is this all about? My wife and I need to catch a train." The boss says knowingly, "You're nervous now, aren't you? Let me ask you both something. How long have you been working here?" The young man answers politely, "It's been 6 months, boss." The boss asks suspiciously, "6 months? Then why have I never seen you before?" The young man explains calmly, "I came here as an intern. If you never noticed me, that's pretty normal." The boss replies firmly, "That's a lie. Our company has never had internships in the cleaning department." The young man explains sincerely, "The truth is, my wife originally works here as a cleaner. Later I joined too. We think if we work at the same company, we'll be able to look after each other." During my interview, manager Sophia says the company doesn't usually hire people from rural areas, but because I graduate from New York University, she doesn't want my talent to go to waste. She tells me to start from the bottom, and maybe one day I'll be transferred to the design department if I prove myself. The boss asks curiously, "You're a New York University graduate, and you still agree to work here as a security guard? How much do you make every month?" The young man replies modestly, "I'm still considered an intern. I earn $3,600 a month." The boss says surprisingly, $3,600, and you're supporting your wife too. Is that really enough? The young man answers sadly, Our income was enough at first, but my mother-in-law became seriously ill, and our children's college expenses piled up. The manager had me write company proposals for 2 months and always praised them, but after you returned, she claimed you rejected them all. That's why we were fired and are heading back to our hometown." The boss asks thoughtfully, "So that's what she tells you? Yet you still claim you were a top student at New York University?" The young man replies confidently, "I can do much more than write proposals. I can create designs as well." The boss asks curiously, "So for the sake of your family, you've been hiding your abilities all this time?" The young man answers sadly, "I have no other choice. These days there are countless graduates. Finding a good job is extremely difficult. I'm grateful to manager Sophia for giving me this opportunity." The boss then asks carefully, "Do you know that there's another employee in this company named Adam?" The boss nods thoughtfully and says, "So that's how it is. Do you know that employees receive bonuses for successful project proposals? And do you remember which proposals you submitted?" "Even though I travel for the last 2 months, I remain fully informed about company affairs. In fact, I like every proposal submitted under Adam's name. Here they are. Would you like to take a look? Do they seem familiar?" Adam stares at them and says in shock, "I write every one of these proposals. Weren't they supposed to be rejected?" The boss asks sharply, "Then whose proposals are approved? Or do you just hear about the bonus and suddenly decide to claim ownership?" The young man replies firmly, "We may come from the countryside, but we're honest people. We don't lie. If I say I write these proposals, then I truly write them." The boss explains seriously, "Do you realize that each approved proposal comes with a $100,000 bonus? Altogether, the manager has already collected $500,000 in bonuses." The disabled man says anxiously, $500,000? Maybe the manager gave my work to her cousin, who has the same name as me. Then she fired us before the truth came out. His wife says emotionally, "My husband created those proposals. That money could change our lives." The boss asks skeptically, "Why should I believe you?" The wife replies firmly, "Because my husband is honest. He's only afraid of her." The boss says thoughtfully, "I've heard complaints about the manager before. Now I understand. Don't worry, I'll investigate and make sure justice is served." Just then the manager enters and asks politely, "You call for me personally. What is this important matter about?" The boss asks coldly, "And who exactly are you?" The manager replies confidently, "This must be something extremely important if you've come here yourself. You're the boss who recently returns from overseas, right? Every profitable project in this company is created by my cousin. He's contributed enormously to our success." The boss points at the manager and her cousin and says sternly, "And you two, aren't you ashamed of yourselves? You steal their bonus money and and take credit for their work. How can you do something like this? The secretary mutters disrespectfully. He's just a man from the countryside. A small bowl of rice should be more than enough for someone like him. The boss replies sharply. Exactly the attitude I expect. Rural people are still people. Whether someone is a third-generation city resident or not makes absolutely no difference. People like you, who only care about yourselves and constantly scheme against others, don't belong in this company. She then announces firmly, this husband and wife will receive every dollar of salary, bonuses, and allowances they're owed. Pack your things immediately and leave this company. An older worker asks nervously, are you really going to keep those two country people and dismiss us? The boss replies firmly, I don't want to hear another word. Then she turns to everyone and asks proudly, friends, I've removed these two dishonest and unethical people from the company. Did I make the right decision?